Uprooted Theatrical Studios presents The Oresteia, Part 2. Hi, my name is Madison Bailey, and I am reading your stage directions.
Hi, I'm Chisara, Asomugha, and I'm reading Clytemnestra.
Hi, I'm Joseph Cash. I'm reading for Orestes.
Hi, my name is Rachel Mackall, and I play the part of Chorus E, who doubles as Electra.
Hi, I'm Jon Lee. I'm reading for Chorus A.
Hi, I'm Matthew Shortell, reading for Course B.
Hi, I'm Tony Choufani, and I'm reading for Chorus C.
Hi, I'm Sofia Tosches, and I'm reading for Chorus D.
Hi, I'm Shelley Kuefner, and I'm reading for Chorus F.
Hi, I'm Amanda Lee Bell, and I'm reading for Chorus G.
Hey, I'm Jake Wallace, and I am reading for Chorus H.
Hi, I'm Samyuktha Viswanathan, and I'm reading for Chorus I.
Act 2. Pre-dawn. An unmarked grave before the sleeping house. Chorus E tends to it. The chorus are on stage doing their various obscure tasks.
10 years gone by, and yet every day we wake into disbelief.
It's always a bad surprise to lurch into now.
This house built of tricks and slaughter, where we are the subjects of such a queen.
So this is where we live now, this present tense.
Yes, we wake, and yet we can't seem to wake.
We dread a future we can't imagine, even as we sleepwalk toward it.
So we wait.
We circle our little cares,
Winding the clocks,
Peeling the carrots,
Snapping the sheets,
Wiping the counters,
Making the beds,
Shining the silver.
Tending the grave,
trying to ignore the creaking of the rafters and the rumbles from beneath the floorboards, sounds of the household's two sovereign deities biding their time.
In the basement, the ancient lion spirit of household memory circles, then settles onto his haunches and looks up.
while on the roof we hear the tick, tick, tick of her talons as vengeance paces, weighing her demands.
We know she's up there, our bird of prey, shuffling her leather wings and sharpening her beak.
considering what she might exact from us.
what she might make us become.
Can we ever be released from the past?
What mercy can we hope for from the future?
The corrupting blood of the old stories never dries.
Yet the future draws us, implacable.
held fast in the jaws of the present. This is what we know.
The past does not forget us, and vengeance will make its claims.
The waiting will end. Future will come.
The future will come.
The future will come.
They will see to that.
They will see to that.
And they will see to that.
The one above and the one below.
The sound of a female voice within, someone in the throes of a nightmare. The chorus look up. Clytemnestra appears at the threshold, then moves about the yard, disturbed.
What was it tonight?
The worst one yet.
Yes?
It's never been asleep before. But it dropped out of me and wanted to be loved, so I swaddled it and sang to it and told it all the stories. It twined itself up my body, then curled around the back of my neck to kiss me. Its flames of a tongue felt like a fluttering eyelash on my mouth. And I thought, well, this is just another remarkable thing that I'm supposed to deal with, alone. Something else that's being asked of me. So I gave it to my breast, and it opened its sharp mouth and closed on me like a jewelry clasp and suckled there. Its pointed tail made lazy figure eights as it drank, thinking. It was also silent, this transaction. Its green eyes blinking as it stared at me. My blood and milk streamed out of me into it, coursing into its smooth breathing coils. I could feel my life drain out of me. I didn't make a noise until it occurred to me that I might call out for help. But to whom? This was my child. What god presided over such a situation? Who could come to my aid? And if I were released from this, what would happen to this child? Who could love it?
This is the question. Who could love such a child?
I tried. I really did to not make a sound, but it wouldn't stop sucking.
It must have hurt.
Fangs like needles drawing me out.
So who did you call to? What did you do?
I woke up. Why would I come up with something like that?
Well, you always were an idiosyncratic mother.
Clytemnestra looks around, startled.
Who said that?
Me.
Clytemnestra looks around at Chorus E, who is now identified as Electra.
Electra? I thought you were the help.
Sensing a brewing quarrel, the chorus begin to drift off, leaving Electra and Clytemnestra alone.
Well, that's what I am. I am the help. That's what you've done with me. Made me a skivvy in my own house.
How much did you hear of how long have you been here?
I've never been anywhere else. You don't let me.
You're perfectly free to leave. I certainly don't care either way.
Where would I go?
Well, you needn't be here. I have no use for you anyway. It's not like you're any use to me.
Who could you talk to otherwise? Who could you tell your dreams to?
I don't need to talk to anyone.
And yet you're always talking. I hear you at it all night long sometimes. Alone in your room, muttering down the halls. Who are you talking to? I lie there and think, is that my mother praying?
Praying?
But then I think, of course not, because I mean, what deity would listen to you after what you did?
And what do you know about the gods?
What I know, I sure didn't learn from you. You raised me to be as godless as a donkey. But with every year, I know them better. The gods. And even you can't stop me from loving them. Their beautiful certainty, the hope I feel when their truth floods in. There is meaning to my suffering, and even this life will be made whole. No crime goes unpunished. I will be avenged.
Oh, you are your father's daughter.
Am I? I'd like to think that.
Just as sanctimonious. Just as frightened. Just as ruthless.
Oh, to think he might have given me something in spite of you. We didn't have much time, my father and me. You took care of that, silenced him.
It was the war that took your father from you. The war he chose. The war he killed your sister for.
The war he survived. The war he triumphed in to come home to me. But you kept me from even seeing him again. Shut us away in our separate rooms to wait, Orestes and me, so that you could lure him in and kill him alone without us clinging to your stabbing arm to ruin your aim.
Yes, I spared you that.
When I think of how patient I was, my dress in sharp creases, my hard new shoes hanging above the floor waiting to meet him, my unknown beloved father, home at last. I sat so still all through the long afternoon, not knowing what you were doing was
serving justice.
Killing my father in my own house.
What needed to be done.
Making sure I would never know a loving parent's touch again.
He never loved you. He barely knew you.
You don't know what he...
There was one child he loved, only one, and he killed her with his own hands.
You don't know what he felt for me.
Sliced his knife deep into her perfect throat.
He kissed the top of my head and carried me on his shoulders.
Even as she stared at him. Even as she stared at him, her lights flickering out.
He loved me.
He gave her no mercy.
He loved me.
That father of yours, that's how he loved his best little girl.
There are gods, Mother, and they have been watching you all this time. You know that. You can feel their gaze heavy on you, the great eyes blinking. They have been patient, but they won't wait forever. They gather and ferment like storm clouds above this house now. They are leaning so low you can hear them breathing. I know you can hear it, Mother, and yes, that's the in and out breath of immortal insistence.
So these gods you talk about, do they have hands and knives?
They don't need them. They act through us.
Through you? Through your dustpan? Through you and your mop? What have you ever done?
Yes, through me.
You're no one. I can't even see you.
Through me? Through my brother?
Orestes? What could you possibly know of him?
Only that after you killed our father, you sent him away. Someplace out of your sight. But he's never out of your mind.
You know nothing, and you never will.
Because what is your plan, Mother? That you will live forever? What is the future of this house?
So you think you're qualified to run this kingdom with the skills you've accumulated over the years, doing what, emptying mousetraps?
No. I'm waiting for my brother just like you. We both know he's bound to come home sometime, don't we?
Clytemnestra turns away from her. Electra pursues her.
It's him you're talking to at night, isn't it?
I don't know what you think you hear or what you think you see.
I know all about you, Mother. Just because you never see me doesn't mean that I don't see you. I am always here.
I wish you would. Just go. I don't want you snickering around here. It's unnerving.
You won't know I'm here. Forget you ever saw me.
She retreats to someplace distant on the stage.
Just call out if you need me.
I won't. I won't ever need you.
But she gives up on it, exhausted.
What a night.
She finds herself standing on the grave.
10 years in the ground. But even so, maybe it's you doing this to me, casting visions.
She kneels and jabs her hands into the grave, then takes a fistful of dirt up and sifts it through her fingers.
I thought I was done with you. Thought I'd settled you in silence where you belong. You still want something from me, even now? What right do you have to anything more? Just leave me alone. Let me sleep.
She wipes her hands on her robe, exits into the house. Electra goes over to the grave and smooths it with her hands. Chorus G has entered.
Father? Daddy? Papa? What did I call him? Do you remember? I was so little when he left. I remember him waving. We were lined up at the door. He put his hand on my head and called me. What did he call me? Honey, sweetheart, angel?
Electra. He called you Electra.
Well, you probably wouldn't have known. This was personal, just ours. Like whatever it was that I called him. Why can't I remember these things? Every day I forget him differently. How can I mourn him if I can't remember him?
If you really couldn't remember him, you wouldn't be so unhappy.
Well, of course I'm unhappy. There are two truths. My mother is alive and my father's not. Two truths that are both killing me. She's alive, which means nothing makes sense. The horror of what she did, and nothing has changed for her. She is fine, untouched. She got away with it.
She has bad dreams.
I do that. I stand over her bed and watch her sleep. Listen to her little mouth sounds. Watch her face when she can't guard it. Oh, I know her to her depths. I thrust my hand into her guts, fingered her blue entrails, and hold her organs throbbing in my palms. And when she is open to me, splayed in the moonlight, that's when I conjure. That's when I make the dreams, concocted with slimy bits, with things in garish shards of everything she fears wrapped up tight in packages spattered with blood. I lift the top of her head open and I drop them into her. And then I close her up again and walk away. Night after night. They are my greatest accomplishment. For nightmares. They are my art. I know why I stay here. I have a job to do hating her. But why do you stay?
Oh, we're not so different from you. We're all rumbling around in the same house, circling her, our own blistering star. She draws us to her, gives us a center.
A common hatred.
Well, she's an interesting woman, your mother. We can't take our eyes off her. And she keeps the story going. We can't leave because we want to find out what will become of such a woman.
I'm aching for the end of this story. It's kept me up and walking for 1,000 nights, waiting for some kind of resolve to awaken in me. The ability to do this thing.
You mean kill her?
I seem to have to. No one else will. And she can't live. Someone has to correct this thing. My brother.
Orestes?
Yes.
Do you know where he is?
I don't. But I don't think she does either. Wherever she once set him, I don't think he's there anymore. So he's lost to the both of us now.
Maybe he's dead.
He can't be. She's too afraid. She knows that if he's living, he will be coming home for her. And when he does, her time is up.
So it's just a matter of time he will be here.
Unless he won't. Unless he is dead.
But you just said...
What do I know? After all these years, I can't even remember what he looks like. At least with my father, I know he's there. My brother, he's been gone so long, he might as well not exist for all the good he's been done for me. I'm so tired of waiting for him to return to do what has to be done.
Maybe you should conjure him. Orestes.
Orestes? Maybe I should.
At least he might still be alive.
Which would be useful.
She stretches out on the grave.
Or I could just sleep here. Dream him up.
Yes, you must be exhausted.
I can't sleep. All the nightmares loose in the house. Flapping around, looking for a head to nest in. I know it's my fault. I called them in. But now that they're here.
She falls asleep.
Well, that will hold her for a while.
Chorus G exits, a moment when the stage is empty except for the sleeping Electra. Orestes enters.
The day my father came back from the wars and stood where I stand, what did he see? A place where he could finally close his scorched eyes in peace, if it lasted. Oh, my father. Did he think he had come home? Oh, what a word for such a house. Or did he know, like me, that hell swung wide behind that door? I hear you, Apollo, my God. Yes, shining one, your flame licks high in me. You have delivered me as promised to this. You show me that I have no choice. Oh, how could I have ever thought I did? Still glistening with the seas of my mother, I was dropped, rising, falling through the sharp air into the open net of fate. It never had anything to do with me. But I'm the only one who can act now. And anything I do will be wrong.
He sees Electra.
Who is the sleeping scrap of sorrow? Oh, my sister. Is this what has become of you?
Electra murmurs in her sleep, a nightmare brewing. He goes to her, kneels, and takes her sleeping into his arms, a sort of pieta.
Daddy?
Well, he's not here.
No one can help me.
Electra?
Only Daddy, and he won't.
She wakes, realizing that she's in someone's arms, but can't see who it is because he holds her from behind. Thinking that she's in a dream, she carefully puts her hands over Orestes' hands.
You have the same hands as...
Yes.
Am I dreaming this?
If you are, I am too.
Am I making you up?
If you are, I'm making you up.
It can't be you. Orestes?
Orestes.
Home.
Home?
At last.
She turns to look at him. They embrace.
When I saw you last, you were only 10. Just a green shoot of a boy. And now you're my avenging stranger. I couldn't have invented anyone better.
I am just what happens when the ticking stops.
You were perfect.
I am only on time.
No. You are justice. Long lost, walking home at last. My little brother, look at you.
That boy you remember is dead. I am just a ghost here.
A ghost with a knife. That's what you've come back for, isn't it?
Electra.
You were sent here, weren't you? Who sent you?
Apollo.
I knew it. The gods have always been at work in you. They never forget us. Apollo sent you. How?
He spoke to me.
You met him.
It's his voice. I hear him.
In your head?
Yes, yes.
Is he speaking to you now?
It's never ending.
Can I hear?
Can you?
Tell me what he's saying.
I don't think it can be. It should be spoken. The sound of.
He looks up as if to ask permission, but then is suddenly in the throes of a different voice. The god speaks through him.
Black knot, it is for you. Son of the mother monster she's steeped in. Cut it now. The black knot, it is for you two, you and only now. Now it is for you and only you. It is for you two, you and only you to do.
During this, as the god takes violent hold, Electra skitters away from him out of danger. As Orestes returns to himself, she approaches him slowly, her hand out, as if to a flame.
Yes.
Oh, Electra, I need a chance to.
Yes, we must.
Wait, Electra, please.
I'm done with waiting. Every minute that goes by, every minute she's alive.
I need a chance to mourn him.
I'm sick of mourning. It's also decorous and defeated. It doesn't meet this, what she did to you. To us, she must be.
I know, Electra. The God has reigned in me for years, driven me through my life with his certainty. But for myself alone, and as myself, I came to mourn my father.
And then?
Yes, I am bound. But first, please just let me. Is this?
He gestures to the grave. She nods. He kneels.
Father?
He doesn't know how to do this. He looks up at Electra.
I have never even met him, and now...
Yes. Now you must act for him. It must be done.
Please, if I could just talk to him somehow, it could. I would.
It's all I do, talk to him. It's a lot like praying, I guess, and about as effective.
Well, you prayed for me, and here I am.
I did. It worked.
They kneel side by side at the grave.
How's it done?
They begin to improvise a ritual together.
Oh, Father.
Oh, Father.
Look up with your hollow eyes through the heavy dirt and see us, your miserable children.
We cannot do this without you.
Help us make her suffer as you suffered.
Help us teach her the price of what she did to you.
Let us light up your house again with the glory of justice.
We will kill her for you, God, Father God.
We will do this for you, God, Father God.
We will. We must. We know it. We're sorry it's taken so long.
Father, we are sorry. We will do what's right.
Oh, Father, we don't know how to do this.
Forgive us, Father.
Oh, Father, hero of Troy, look up at your unheroic children.
Take pity and come to us.
Help us do this terrible thing in your name.
In your name, whatever that name is or should be, forevermore.
Finally, in some despair, they are just pounding the grave with their palms. Unseen by Orestes and Electra, Agamemnon appears covered in dirt. He walks over to stand behind them and then drops a knife down on the ground between them. He walks off. Orestes and Electra look at the knife, then at each other. Something, perhaps a bell, sounds. Orestes stows the knife and stands up. He goes to the door of the house and bangs on it. A member of the chorus answers.
Why are you pounding like that? Are you trying to wake the dead?
Yes. Wake the house, I have news.
And who shall I say is here?
Well, it doesn't matter. She wouldn't know me.
Some stranger, is that it?
A stranger to her, yes.
Okay. Wait.
She retreats into the house. Silence as they wait. Lights go on inside. Clytemnestra comes to the door, followed by the chorus member who summoned her.
Have we met?
No. I am a stranger. I'm a stranger to you, and I am far from home. But I've come with news for this house. Who should I speak to? Who is the lady? Who is in charge?
I am. I'm the mother of this house.
And it is your. I have a message about your.
I have a son, Orestes.
Orestes, yes.
Yes.
It's hard to say.
Well, and yet you've come all this way to tell me.
Well, he's dead. Your son. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, say that again?
I'm sorry?
What did you say? You said something about my son.
Orestes.
Yes.
He's dead.
It's funny. I thought you might have said that, but it didn't make sense. You see, he can't be dead. He's all this family has got. If he's gone, the line is snuffed out. So what's it all been for? All this struggle and terror and long bad nights. If he's gone, it's all been for nothing. The only way this works, all this, is that he's always off somewhere safe. That's the point. That he not be here, but that he be alive.
I don't know.
Well, he's not
what
your
to-
problem. Him.
Well, there is one more thing. There is a question.
A question.
Where shall his ashes be buried? Where he died, or here where he was from?
What does that even matter? When we are dirt, who cares where we're heaped?
She suddenly leans over, gasping, as if knifed in the gut.
Sorry. It's nothing.
It was not my choice. I wish it didn't have to be me who had to tell. I wish it was given to me to do.
Well, if it hadn't have been you, it would have been somebody else. What has to happen does. Will you come inside? We have everything a traveler breaking a journey could use. Hot baths, hot food, hot knives and forks. And, excuse me, see to him, make sure that he...
She goes off abruptly, as if to vomit. The chorus member Clytemnestra spoke to watches her go.
What on earth? I'll never be able to read her. Is that real, what she said? Does she even remember that boy? You know, it was me who raised him. She was never, ever around. Too busy running things. Nursed him a bit and handed him off to me when she got bored. Because, you know, it's mostly boring children. Let's face it, mostly a matter of trying to figure out what they're crying about now. And just when you think you've cracked the code and do something about it, the crying starts all over again and you've got another mystery to solve. Of course, he was lovely too. Good company for a baby. She was right about one thing though. It doesn't make sense. Him being dead, he was just here really. That's what it seemed like. Just here.
She looks hard at him.
Go and get her, bring her back.
It's odd that you think you can just...
I don't have time.
But then you were always like that. Babies, men.
What? Please.
It's all now, me.
Go get her, bring her out.
I knew it. It doesn't make sense otherwise.
I don't have time.
Welcome home.
She exits into the house. A moment of complete stillness, the sense of time ticking. Clytemnestra comes back on, then stops, looking at Orestes, dawning panic.
There must be some mistake.
You did what you should never have done. Now you must suffer what you should never have to suffer.
I think that you've misinterpreted the logic here. What you don't want is to become what your father became. Some cursed killer who takes the life of his own...
I don't have any choice in this. It's being done through me.
But look what happened to him.
You were what happened to him. You chose, you decided, and then you killed him. There was no God at your back prodding you to do it. You came up with it by yourself.
He did it.
Yourself.
He killed your sister. That's what he did.
Well, you tricked him. You lured him in the house, made him helpless. And then you...
He knew it was wrong. He came back to me because he knew I'd do it. He knew he had to die for it. I just held the knife he fell on.
Well, I have the knife now, Mother. And I will hold it for you.
No. You will not kill your mother. This is completely different. I killed some man I married, some stranger who walked into my life and ruined it. He slaughtered our daughter, slit her throat like some backyard goat. What father, human or animal, could do that? It was an abomination against human nature, and he knew it as he drew the knife across her neck. She was his favorite, and he still did it. Gagged her so that she couldn't curse him, the man she thought was her father, her protection against the world. Now just the man with a knife.
I am the man with the knife. That's all I was ever allowed to be.
No. You're my child.
She goes to him, touches him.
The child who took my breast, blood of my blood. You will never do this. It would destroy you. Any wound you make in me would open up one in you that would never heal.
He holds his head to her breast in a kind of embrace. He relaxes into her, and then pulls abruptly away, looking up.
What am I to do?
Not that. Not that.
Tell me what I am supposed to do.
Listen to your mother. What do gods have to do with this?
The God is inside me. It has been since the moment that you did it. You began him in me, the river of his speech.
But we know each other, you and I.
I don't know you. I don't know anything.
I'm your mother. You lived in me. You are me.
Well, then I'm also my father, and he gave me this.
He draws the knife.
How did you get that? That's the same knife.
That you killed him with.
No, that he killed your sister with, Iphigenia.
Iphigenia.
Don't you see? Don't you?
Orestes is desperately looking up, searching the sky for some kind of help.
You're not a man who would do something like that. You don't want to be him.
No help at hand, he looks back at his mother.
He was my father, and you killed him.
It won't be undone. Killing me will not bring back your father.
I can't hear you.
You will be cursed. You will run for the rest of your life under a twisting, biting cloud. You can't kill your mother.
I have no other choice.
He lets out a howl and runs at her. She runs towards the house. Electra runs to block her at the door. Clytemnestra turns back to Orestes. A standoff.
You are my snake.
Yes, I am yours.
I let you live. Sent you away from here so you wouldn't have to do this. I could have, after he was dead, I could have killed you. Don't you see? But I let you go out into the world where you could be free of this hateful house. You are the shape of my mercy. I couldn't do it. You were my sweet boy. I couldn't do what he did. I couldn't kill my own child. Even to save myself, I let you happen. Because I loved you.
She has gone to him, heading into an embrace, when he stabs her simply. She looks at him as she dies.
Oh, Mother. Why did you let me loose in the world? I've always been your death.
And now I am yours. You will never be free of me now.
It is done. That is the end of it, at last.
Listen. Listen. They're coming for you.
He gestures up to the sky, then dying slides down his body. The sound of wet wings, quiet at first, then growing louder, as if hundreds and hundreds of great birds were landing and settling on the stage. The chorus, each holding a bucket, enter. After Clytemnestra slides dead to the ground, Orestes backs up, looking at her, onto the grave, and is suddenly aware of the chorus around him. The chorus throw the contents of the buckets, blood, at Orestes. He falls to his knees on the grave, drenched. Electra picks up her own bucket.
Joyce. It's finally over.
She pours the bucket of blood over herself.
The curse is lifted from this place. It is done.
As the sounds of birds settle, the chorus turn slowly from putting down their buckets and begin to rise, looking at Orestes. We see them as he sees them, and they are the Furies now. Still kneeling, Orestes pleads with them, and then with us.
I justly killed. Justly murdered. Just blood. Just blood. Just so much blood. Not so much. Just blood.
End of Act 2.